New videos every day.
Is your journal in a bit of a creative rut? Are you at a loss for new entries? Hi, I'm Michelle from WriteByNight, a writer service and writing center in East Austin, and today I'm going to give you some ideas for entries for keeping a creative journal. So whether you already have a creative journal or you're on the market for one, the first step is to make sure that you have a journal that you like. If you don't like the journal and you don't like looking at it and you're tired of carrying it around, chances are you're not going to like what's inside of it either. The next step is making sure that you set aside time to write. If the only time you approach your journal is when you're tired or you've had a long day of work, then chances are your creative juices aren't going to be flowing. And if you need tips on time management, you can check out the video Katie posted last week. A great way to get out of a creative rut is to just get out of the physical environment that you're in. So go to a public place, go to a coffee shop, go to a bar, get on a city bus. Just make sure it's a place that's casual where a bunch of people are going to be coming and going. And if you're a little bit anxious about writing in public, then you can check out David's video about writing in public places and some tips for doing so. So once you get to your public place, there are 3 really simple ideas that can get you writing and can lead to huge projects. The first of those is to sit next to people having a conversation, be it friends, a couple. 2 people is often easier. Sometimes when there's 3 people talking, it's a little bit confusing, but just transcribe what they're saying. Don't fictionalize it, don't change it, just try your hardest to write down what they're saying. Not only is this good because it'll give you an idea for how people actually speak, which will then help your dialogue when you try to fictionalize it later, but it also kind of takes the pressure off of you to provide a subject matter, and it gives you something that you can just take, and then if they say something interesting to you or you find a point, then you can just take that and run with it. Another idea is to just find a person, maybe someone who looks like they're sitting, reading, might be there for a while, and describe them. Physical description is something that can be very difficult for writers, and so if you just do this and you practice writing physical descriptions of these random people, then it's a really great way to build up that skill without having to just imagine it in your head. You can actually look at someone, and that can make it a lot easier. A third idea is to pick another random person and just create a backstory for them. You know, why are they here? What was their childhood like? How did they purchase the shirt they were wearing? I mean, it might sound silly, but just looking at someone and using their facial features or their outfit or just something about their mannerism to kind of create a story is a really great way to either create a character for yourself or to just get your creative juices flowing one day. Those ideas can be really helpful if you're in a public space, but if you're just working by yourself in your study and need some ideas, there are 2 other really easy ideas that you can do all by yourself. The first is to think of a story you've heard recently, be it a story from the news, something that a friend or family member told you, and fictionalize it. Start by writing down what actually happened, and then make it more interesting. Change the details, make something bigger or smaller, more or less important, and just kind of see where that takes you. Another idea is to come up with a simple action, like something like opening a door or preparing lunch, and just think of different ways to write about that or to talk about a character doing that. And that might sound really silly or even really boring, but when you think about it, some of these mechanics that seem like very simple things to write are actually very difficult because when you try to write about them, they come across as boring. So finding new and interesting ways to write about common events can actually be a really great way to set yourself apart as a writer. So, whether you're writing in public or just having a quiet evening writing by yourself, the most important thing to remember is don't get discouraged. You're going to have rough days and you're going to have great writing days. And the important thing to tell yourself is that it takes those rough days to get to the great days. In another video, I'll give some tips about writing about common everyday occurrences in an interesting way, and also discuss some writers who do it well. And in another video, I'll be talking about more ways to get excited about journaling. One of those may even be making your own from scratch. Thank you for watching my video. I hope you found it helpful. If you'd like to know more about what I talked about, you can visit us at www.writebynight.net. So please give the video a thumbs up, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel.